I have something really cool to show you today. This device looks and behaves just like a Lightbrite. It even accepts the same black sheets and the same pegs. The similarities end there though, because this device can do way more. Here, let me show you. What you just saw was a glimpse of some of the amazing things that this device can do. How did I build it and what else can this device do? Find out today on Tek Upgrade. Hey everyone, and welcome to a new episode of Tek Upgrade, the channel where I give superpowers to products using the magic of tech. Today, we're diving into the world of Lightbrite. Lightbrite lets you make pixel art using these tiny little pegs. When you're finished, you press a button and boom, your whole thing lights up. Lightbrites have gone on a bit of a diet over the past few years. They've slimmed down, they've become more compact, but the idea remains the same. This is the model that my kids have. Unlike the old school ones, this one allows you to light up different parts of the screen at different times. But you still can't control every peg individually. Then came the Lightbrite Touch, which is a huge departure for the toy. You use these little nubs to cycle through the colors, and it did give the Lightbrite a few more features, but without the pegs, is it really a Lightbrite? It's like swapping out a classic novel for a movie adaptation. Sure, it's more flashy, but you're missing half the plot and all the character development. This got me wondering, what if we took a traditional Lightbrite and modified it so that every peg can light up on its own? That's exactly the project that we're going to tackle today. Now on paper, or video I guess, this doesn't sound very exciting, but trust me, this is going to unlock a whole new world of features. Okay, let's break this project into 3 parts. 1. We need to figure out a way of making every peg light up individually. 2. I want this device to be compatible with the Lightbrite pegs and its sheets, so we'll need to make a design that takes all of that into account. And lastly, we have to explore all the cool features that this new device has enabled for us. Okay, that sounds like a plan. Time to build our custom Lightbrite. Before we dive into the future, let's figure out how the original Lightbrite works. This is going to help us make our version a lot better. First, we start with these colorful translucent pegs. You place a black sheet over your Lightbrite screen, which has these markers on it to help guide your masterpiece. It's kind of like paint by numbers, but with a lot more stabbing involved. Once you finish putting all the pegs in the right holes, you're ready to light up the magic. And by magic, I mean one single light bulb in the back of the machine. This bulb is the unsung hero of the Lightbrite. It shines through the pegs, bringing your art to life. The pegs themselves, they don't actually produce light. Think of them as tiny little glass bottles. As charming as the original Lightbrite is, it does have its limitations. Because it only has one bulb, you're lighting up all the pegs at the same time. If we go back to my kid's Lightbrite for a second, this one just had a few more bulbs. Now that we understand the limitations of the original Lightbrite, it's time to figure out how to make every peg light up on its own. This Lightbrite here has a grid of 21 by 19 pegs, that's 399 in total. Each hole is 6mm apart. This is known as the pitch. The way I see it, we have 2 options. Option 1. To get each peg to light up on its own, we'll need to create an array of almost 400 lights in a very crammed up space. This will require the precision of a Swiss watchmaker, the dexterity of a brain surgeon, and the patience of somebody who loves untangling Christmas lights. Option 2, we buy a 32 by 32 LED matrix. An LED matrix is a grid filled with tiny lights. Each light can be individually controlled, allowing us to light them up with precision. So which option is right for this project? Let's use the most sophisticated scientific method out there to decide. A good old-fashioned coin toss. Heads we go custom, tails we go matrix. Before I flip, which option would you go for? Let me know in the comments below. Okay, here we go. Best 2 out of 3. The matrix makes a lot more sense. We don't have to deal with a ton of little resistors, wires, lights, voltage, precision, cursing. There's a whole lot of things that could go wrong. It also has a bunch of built-in capabilities, but we'll talk about that later. And I'll be honest, I'd rather try juggling chainsaws than sort out the spaghetti of wires that a custom build would have resulted in. The only problem I see here is that the grid size doesn't match. We have 32 by 32 instead of 21 by 19. But here's the good news, that doesn't matter. What we're trying to achieve here is a Lightbrite compatible device. As long as the black sheets and pegs fit, it's all good. Now that we've settled on the matrix, it's time to design a custom peg holder. First things first, we need to calculate the size of every peg. Each peg is going to have to fit perfectly inside the grid. Each peg is 24.2mm in height, 3mm in the narrow end, and the narrow end is about 5mm in height before it tapers out. Look at that, a fully recreated peg. It's not translucent though, so the light won't be able to shine through this one. I guess we won't be using this one for our light show. Having said that, I think we're going to need a whole bunch of pegs for this project. Instead of going to the store and buying a whole bunch of pegs, what if I use translucent filament and print out a whole army of them? Now that we have our pegs, it's time to design the grid. This involves a lot of precise design work, a bunch of tweaks, and a lot of coffee. If this keeps up, my next project will be a coffee-powered Lightbrite. Now I got lucky. On my Lightbrite, the rows and columns are actually perfectly aligned. In most Lightbrites, they're actually a little bit off-centered. If I had an offset version, I would have had to create my holes in a diagonal, kind of like little hockey sticks. My design is ready, so now it's time for a few test prints. Even with precise measurements, the tolerances of a 3D printer are always different. It sometimes requires a little bit of trial and error. 16 hours later, I present you with the world's fanciest cheese grater. Oh wait, it's backwards. This is actually our Lightbrite peg compatible grid. We definitely need a catchier name for this. Let me know what you think in the comments. Oddly enough, this grid is actually the same size as my kid's Lightbrite. I could probably retrofit it, but I don't really want to break my kids' toys. Now the moment of truth. Let's place this over my LED matrix to see if it actually fits. Okay, now the fun begins. It's time to test this bad boy out. First, let's try a sheet from my kid's toy. And look at that, it works. Now let's do another one. No, this isn't the Kool-Aid Man's wall or an overly ambitious traffic light. Yeah, that's right, it's a visualizer. You can start to see that allowing each peg to light up on its own opens up a whole new world of possibilities. Now let's do one more. Yes, you can even animate a game like Tetris. In theory, I could have made this an actual game, but that's outside of the scope of this project. It's also pretty complicated. I don't even have controls on this thing. I suppose you could tilt the device left and right to make it move, and maybe tilt it downwards to make the pieces fall faster. We could tilt it upwards to make them rotate, but then there's all these other physics involved. You need to make sure that the pieces don't fall through the ground. If there's a piece already at the bottom, you should be able to stack it, and you shouldn't be able to move outside the left or right boundaries. And when you make a line, you should be able to clear it. And I guess we should show what the next piece is, and you'll probably need to tally up the score. I think we just built Tetris. There you have it. Creating a Lightbrite where pegs can light up on their own creates a whole new world of possibilities. You can build an over-engineered clock, or maybe a weather station, or a stock ticker, or I don't know, a subscription counter. Really, your imagination is the limit here. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you at the next Tech Upgrade.